Engine ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket carrying the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter for NASA. Let's listen to Marty Malinowski as he provides launch vehicle ascent data from the ASOC Engineering Operations Center here at Cape Canaveral.
We have ignition and liftoff of NASA's New Horizons spacecraft on a decade-long voyage to visit the planet Pluto and then beyond.
Main engine ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket with LRO Alacross, America's first step in a lasting return to the moon. And ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V with the Solar Dynamics Observatory, learning why our star is changing our lives. Ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V with Juno on a trek to Jupiter, a planetary piece of the puzzle on the beginning of our solar system. 0 and liftoff of the Atlas V with Curiosity, seeking clues to the planetary puzzle about life on Mars.
Release.
Off the Atlas V rocket and twin spacecraft on a mission to unlock the mysteries of Earth's Van Allen belts.
0 and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket with TDRS-K, broadening, enhancing, and improving the capability of space-based tracking. 0 and ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket on the Landsat Data Continuity mission, continuing the 40-year legacy of preserving Earth's natural resources from space. Main engine start, ignition, and liftoff of the Atlas V with Maven, looking for clues about the evolution of Mars through its atmosphere. Main engine ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V with TDRS-L, building our ability to meet the growing future of communications in space. 1, 0. And liftoff of the Atlas V with MMS, using magnetic reconnection to fill in pieces of the puzzle of space weather. 1.
Liftoff. On the shoulders of Atlas, the SS Deke Slayton II orbital ATK Cygnus spacecraft soars toward the International Space Station.
Ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket with Cygnus, with supplies for the crew, experiments for the science.
1. And liftoff of OSIRIS-REx, its 7-year mission to boldly go to the asteroid Bennu and back. 1. And liftoff of NOAA's GOES-R, America's most advanced weather eye in the sky, elevating environmental intelligence to new heights and saving lives.
For main engine start, 1, 0, and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket with Cygnus and the SS John Glenn, extending the research legacy for living and working in space.
1. And we have liftoff of TDRS-M on the Atlas V rocket from Space Launch Complex 41. TDRS-M, securing space-to-ground communication for NASA's low Earth orbit operations, including the International Space Station. 1. And liftoff of the Atlas V and NOAA's GOES, a highly sophisticated weather-watching eye in the sky, to join its twin in providing better forecasts and saving lives. 0. And liftoff of the Atlas V, launching the first interplanetary mission from the West Coast, and NASA's InSight, the first outer space robotic explorer to study the interior of Mars.
And liftoff, the rise of Starliner and a new era in human spaceflight.
2, 1, 0. And liftoff of our solar orbiter and international collaboration to give us new images and a better understanding of our life-giving star.
And liftoff. As the countdown to Mars continues, the perseverance of humanity launching the next generation of robotic explorers to the Red Planet.
And liftoff. Liftoff of an Atlas V rocket and Landsat 9, continuing the legacy of an irreplaceable 50-year record on our ever-changing planet.
0. Liftoff. Atlas V takes flight, sending Lucy to uncover the fossils of our solar system.
1. And liftoff. Liftoff of Noah's GOES team, our newest weather sentinel in the sky to help keep us safe here on the ground.
And liftoff. The Starliner is headed back to space on the shoulders of Atlas, powered by a workforce dedicated to its success.
3, 2, 1, ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff of the Atlas V, carrying JPSS-2 and Lofton, a new weather observatory for our planet, and a test for planetary exploration.
1. Ignition. And liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V, carrying 2 American heroes, drawing a line to the stars for all of us.